Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my talk. Um, I first want to start with the practical part. So if during the talk you have any questions, you can scan the QR code that is on the screen, and your question will be transferred to me at the end of this talk. So first, let me introduce myself. I am Evelien Komans. I'm a project manager at Dynapps. And I joined Dynapps in 2018 as a functional consultant. But I switched roles to project manager in 2023. Over the past 7 years, I've had the chance to work on all kinds of Odoo implementation projects, together with an amazing team of Dynapps colleagues. Today, I'd love to share my experience from one of these projects with you. But first, let me briefly introduce Dynapps as a company. We are the #1 implementation partner with 15 years of experience and over 650 customer references. We have over 13,200 active users who are served every day by our strong team of over 215 employees. You can find us in different countries, in 4 countries in the meantime already, which is Belgium, Netherlands, France, and Switzerland. But I can already tell you today that there is many more to come. About Schellaert. A few months ago, we were approached by Schellaert, an interior and paint wholesaler that offers a wide selection of paint and interior products and brands. They were looking to implement Odoo in their 5 stores in Flanders, Belgium. They have 1 store in Aalst, Beveren, Ghent, Grimbergen, and Ninove. They serve their customers from these 5 stores, but they also deliver their B2B customers directly to construction sites and in their homes. So what were the main challenges we faced? The project was actually initiated with help of Odoo. So they, at the moment we first met, they were already implemented for quite a big part in standard Odoo. With Odoo, they made the switch. They made already the decision to switch from their outdated version of SAP Business One to a newer and more modern version of a more modern solution in Odoo version 18. After a first start with Odoo and setting up the standard processes, they were actually referred to a partner, Dynapps, to help them with some specific challenges. It was their setting up their point of sales with 13 cash registers and each of these registers their own payment terminals. The sales module and complex price listing, the inventory module with complex routings, manufacturing for mixing paints in store, and accounting. And of course, managing this change throughout their organization was an important topic for which they were seeking support. On top of all of that, we were also facing a very short implementation period. At the moment they approached us, we only had a few months left to implement the project and go live. The go live was on the 1st of June this year, by the way. So let's dive a little bit into the process. I'm going to start with explaining the Dynapps approach of a project and just go through the high-level steps first before I dive into a few results we developed at the customer. At Dynapps, we would always, of course, start with an intake step. In this case, this meant the transition from Odoo to Dynapps and a first understanding of the business case. This step was also the moment where I first got in touch with our customer. After that, we set up a specialized team of consultants to do a short analysis and deliver an implementation plan and scope for the actual implementation. Once this was approved, we could go ahead to implementation, which meant, of course, development and testing in close cooperation with the customer, who validates every single development in every step before and after it is finished. We went on site, of course, to set up the more hardware-related stuff, like cash registers and the payment terminals. And we also had to support a lot with setting up the complex routing, which I'm going to tell more about in the next slide. Once everything was implemented, the next step is, of course, a thorough validation by your customer. For the user acceptance testing, we provided test scenarios for the customer to go through all of the different steps and really test their software before starting using it for real. Other things in this step were preparation of the data migration and change management, for which we actually organized a few training sessions on site for the end customers to really try and smooth the transition to their new software. After planning the go live date, doing the data migration and activation of hardware at all of the locations in just one weekend, we switched to a short period of hypercare where the project team is very approachable by the customer for help. And if everything is running smoothly, we can transfer the customer to our Dynapps service desk. This means also that the project team will be approachable for further expansion at the customer, which is also something that the customer required, because they were still looking to expand their Odoo even further. Okay, so let's talk about the results that we have. I have mentioned a few points that we, few solutions that we offered here at Schellaert. First important result from my point of view is the flexibility they now can offer to their end customer. Every customer can choose the options that fits their schedule and comfort level, making the whole process run very smooth and stress-free. For us, this meant focusing on having all the different Odoo modules, sales, point of sales, inventory, and manufacturing, working all in sync. But also for the internal organization of Schellaert, Odoo was able to offer some relief. In the Odoo inventory app, we set up 2 warehouses and 5 shops, which are all automatically resupplied from their main warehouses. Which means that a buyer only needs to check which goods that have to buy, check my proposal for purchasing, and confirm it to the customer. After delivery to their main warehouse, the goods are all automatically shipped to the shops that need the goods to restock. Besides this, manual transfers between all shops are being created on a daily basis. And after we went live with this project, the customer has requested with us an additional improvement to their system, which was actually to make it possible to mix paints in the store, but really at the moment that the customer is there waiting for their order. So how it works is that the customer shops in the store, gets a personal touch, chooses his paints, and then just goes to the cash register to pay for their goods. And the cash register automatically immediately sends the manufacturing order to their mixing area in store. So while they're checking out, gathering their goods, the customer can take his delivery note and run to the mixing area to collect their goods. Also, for some special cases, we added the possibility to order the manufacturing in a different store, which means that, for example, for some paints, it is not possible to mix them in all of the shops, but only in their main shop in Aalst. So what happened then is that the manufacturing is not sent to the mixing area in the shop, but in Aalst. And after mixing the paint, the finished good is automatically shipped to the right store, where the customer can pick it up a day later. These are just a few examples of how our customer is using their Odoo on a daily basis. Of course, there are many more advantages that I will not be able to dive in today. But I do know, and I can tell you that this is only the beginning. Because after just a few months on Odoo and a short stabilization period, the customer is now ready to explore even more of what this platform can offer for them. So this was basically everything I wanted to share with you today. What I wanted you to take away from this talk is actually how we approach projects efficiently at Dynapps, and what are the key possibilities and challenges for retailers and wholesalers wanting to implement Odoo. Finally, I want to thank our customer Schellaert for their trust and, of course, for their input during the project, because a project is always a cooperation between implementator and customer. And, of course, the full Dynapps team. More specifically, the Dynapps consultants who worked really hard the past 6 months to get this project done. And now it's time for questions. If you have not scanned the QR code yet, you still have the chance. And the nice people here will read them for me.
Hi everyone, and congrats for your talk.
Thank you.
So for the moment, there is one question. The question was, what were the issues that the client faced with SAP B1?
The main issue was just the lack of flexibility, and also because they were on a quite outdated version. It was not modern, it was not scalable, and especially accounting. They mentioned to me that the steps they had to take in SAP Business One were very complex, very difficult, and they really found an improvement in Odoo. On the other hand, another reason for choosing Odoo, besides a newer version of SAP Business One, was also the implementation cost and the license cost. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. And are there next phases planned?
Not yet. So as I mentioned, they've been only live for 3 months now. So they had some time to stabilize, get everything ready. But for this moment, it's just continuous improvement on the existing environment. But they are really exploring what can be done, and also looking for a web shop and everything like that. But nothing currently planned today.
Okay. how many devs or BAs did you need for such a project?
What do you mean, business consultants? With
Yes.
how many people?
Yes.
Okay, so we had one all-round consultant who was helping on site, and a finance consultant, and then one or two developers we needed. But of course, at Dynapps we have a very big team, so we can always rely on our colleagues to help.
Okay, super. I'm waiting for another question. Do we still have time left?
Okay. So I don't think there are any other questions, or?
I think we are good for this time. Thanks a lot for your talk. It was very interesting, and thanks everyone.
Thanks everyone.